Hey everyone, I'm David Finz, and on this episode of the Cyber Insurance Imperative, we're going to talk about one of the most contentious topics in this space, whether the government should ban the payment of ransom to terminate a cyber extortion threat. At the outset, let me state that I recognize that this is a controversial issue, and the views that I'm expressing here are solely my own and do not necessarily reflect those of my employer. I know that some folks will disagree with me, and that's fine. But my position on this has been informed by the experience of working firsthand with companies that are impacted by a ransomware event, struggling to keep their business afloat, honor their commitments to their customers, and safeguard the livelihood of their employees. Now, earlier this month, North Carolina became the first state to ban ransom payments by state agencies and local governments. New York and Pennsylvania are considering similar legislation, and a bill has also been introduced in Congress. Some of these bills include reporting requirements, which are all well and good. Information sharing is fine so long as it doesn't provide a roadmap to the threat actors. But some of these bills would make it illegal for a private business to make a ransom payment, effectively turning the victims into criminals. Banning ransom payments outright not only puts targeted businesses over a barrel, but it increases the risk that they will be extorted yet again. But don't take my word for it. Listen to the testimony of an FBI official. Brian Vordran, Assistant Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Cyber Division, told a congressional committee that cyber criminals would then threaten to report targets who pay ransom to the authorities. He said, and I quote, "If you make the paying of ransoms illegal, you're creating a third extortion, which means that if a company chooses to pay and they have now broken the law, then a cyber adversary has the ability to hold them accountable in the public's eye and threaten them even more with a higher extortion." Now, folks, I want to be clear about this. Nobody is actually in favor of ransom payments. I understand that even when the threat actors are a sanctioned entity, the money is likely going to support human trafficking, drug smuggling, and other nefarious stuff. Payment of the ransom should always be a last resort. One of the services that a cyber insurance policy provides is access to an expert threat consultant whose first priority is to determine whether the threat can be terminated without the payment of ransom. Their job is to ascertain who the threat actors are, whether they have the means to make good on their demands, whether the data can be restored from backups, whether there's a decryption key available through law enforcement, and whether the payment would be going to a party that has been sanctioned by the U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Asset Controls. Then, if it is deemed necessary to negotiate with the threat actors, they will ask for proof of life that the decryption key works, to minimize the possibility that the insured won't be able to recover what's been taken from them. Perhaps the most important development that is getting missed in all of this is that the percentage of companies making ransom payments is actually going down. As recently reported by Advisor, fewer businesses are paying the ransom, according to a report by Corvus, a leading managing general agent that underwrites cyber coverage. The report from Corvus reveals that only 22% of its insureds experiencing an attack are making a ransom payment, down from a previous high of 50%. This is not surprising, because underwriters are requiring stronger backups and greater resiliency on the part of their insureds as a condition of coverage. In other words, cyber insurance is incentivizing businesses to up their security game. So my friends, cyber insurance didn't create the ransomware epidemic. The coverage is responding to what is happening in the surrounding threat environment, and a qualified insurance broker can work with your business to help you identify the controls you need to reduce your exposure to these sorts of attacks and connect you with the service providers who can put these controls in place. If you'd like a copy of our fact sheet, Protecting Your Organization Against Ransomware, you can DM me on LinkedIn or email me at david.finz@alliant.com, and I'll be happy to send you a copy. Equipping our clients to navigate the cyber threat environment is just one more way that Alliant helps you find the more rewarding way to manage risk. Thanks for watching.